It's day 6 of our highlights of the Mediterranean cruise on the Marella Voyager, and we're ported in Villefranches from 8 AM until 5 PM. This morning, we're jumping on the train and heading to the Monte Carlo casino in Monaco, and then returning to Villefranches this afternoon. If you're porting in Villefranches on the Mediterranean medley itinerary, we have another video that covers Livorno, and we'll be putting out videos for Barcelona, the Marella Voyager ship, and our stay in Mallorca. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll be notified when we upload new content.
This wasn't the original port for our itinerary. We had an email from Marella advising us of the change a couple of weeks before we travelled. We had pre-booked Monaco Monte Carlo on your own at £47 per person. However, when the port was amended, this was automatically cancelled and refunded. We could have booked another Marella excursion on the ship, but as Villefranche was very close to Monaco, we decided to travel independently on the train.
In the morning, we skipped breakfast and went straight to the Arts House at 8:30 AM. This was the earliest we could go, as I believe the planned excursions went first. However, there was no queue. We got our tender numbers and waited in the coffee port, but these were called pretty much straight away, so we headed down to the gangway on deck 3.
When you disembark the ship, you go down a few steps onto a platform and from there cross a bridge onto the tender boat. These are Villefranche's own shore tender boats, not Marella's. They were pretty big and you could sit inside or outside. The sea was very gentle and it was about 10 to 15 minutes to the town with lovely views.
In Villefranches, you arrive at the tourist centre, where there are maps and nice toilets. When you exit, just head right along the seafront promenade towards the train station. It's a short 10-minute walk. When you reach a restaurant called Espuma, turn left and climb the stairs behind that will take you to the station. Cross onto the opposite side so you are on the platform that's facing the sea, and this is the platform for Monaco.
There are ticket machines on the platform, but you can also buy tickets online from the Trainline. We purchased our tickets on the Trainline app. This is the same app I use for my work commute, so it was really simple. You search from Villefranche-sur-Mer to Monaco Monte Carlo. We bought 2 singles for £3 each and then the same again on the way back. There was also a 49p booking fee per transaction. We did this separately as we weren't sure what time we would be heading back, so it seemed easier to buy them as and when we needed them. It was a large double-deck train and it was fairly busy, so we didn't get a seat, but we did get on the first one. I've heard if you're travelling in the height of the summer it can be very busy.
After arriving in Monaco, we grabbed a quick coffee in the train station for the short 15-minute walk to the casino. From the station, it's a straight walk to the top of the casino gardens, which we walked down and admired on the way to the casino.
It was €18 each for an audio guide and map. It was very easy to follow as you are given a map of each room with the number of the audio guide.
You can enter the casino atrium for free, however, we definitely recommend entering inside. It is described as the epitome of luxury, and it really is. We arrived around 10 AM and the staff were all hoovering tables, setting up the bar and also training new staff. The whole place was decadent, even the smell inside is gorgeous. There were slot machines, blackjack, poker tables. You could sit at the tables and take pictures, as if you were playing. The casino is open for visits from 10 AM to 1 PM. Last entry is at 12:15. At this time of day, any age can enter, and you're free to take photographs. The games rooms are open from 2 PM when the tables, slot machines and bar are open. This is for over 18s only.
There are a couple of things to note if you wish to enter. You need your passport and there is a dress code. They did check what Sam was wearing. To be honest, we didn't love the audio guide, but loved being inside the casino and admiring the architecture. It was incredible, very luxurious and decadent, but the brightly coloured slot machines are kind of a crazy contrast.
It was stunning, and we spent about an hour admiring each room, especially the outdoor room facing the sea.
It would be lovely to be there in the afternoon, enjoying a drink and playing a game. The atmosphere must be incredible. We were able to re-enter at 2 PM with our ticket, but chose to spend our afternoon in Villefranches instead.
We spent about an hour inside. It was pretty quiet when we got there, but as we were leaving, loads of tour groups entered.
Before we left, we went to the gift shop and got a beautiful pack of gold playing cards and a Christmas tree decoration. I won't buy one at every destination, but if I see a good one, I love buying a bauble on holiday, as it's lovely to remember sunny warm times at Christmas when it's cold and grey. We then left and headed down the F1 track to the harbour and the F1 start line. It was awesome to walk down the track and see the hairpin bends. It wasn't something we'd ever watched, but have since become obsessed with, and a lot of the F1 drivers actually live in Monaco, including Charles Leclerc, who is Monegasque, and we've since watched his YouTube vlogs where he goes into the exact supermarket we go into here. Going into supermarkets is another random thing I love to do on holiday, and this one was incredible to see all of their fresh foods and pasta. It all looked delicious.
Near the F1 start line is also the Automobile Club of Monaco, where in the front window you can see engines and F1 trophies. We then headed back to the train station. There's another entrance at the bottom of the hill as we wanted to spend some time in Villefranches too before heading back to the ship. The train station was easy enough to navigate, and by chance we got straight on the train without having to wait. This one was much quieter, so we got a seat, and the train actually had really nice views of the sea and the mountains. I still can't believe how cheap the train tickets are compared to our normal work commute.
Looking back now, the old town is actually only a 15-minute walk from the F1 start line, and we definitely would have had time to go here and explore the cathedral and Prince's Palace. It's an uphill walk, but there are gorgeous views from the top of the rock. I can't say why we didn't go. I had all the sites saved onto my Google Maps, but just didn't realise how close they were, to be honest. Monaco is the second smallest country in the world, second only to the Vatican City. You could definitely explore here, as even with our time in Villefranche, we headed back to the ship 90 minutes before the last tender. I guess we were feeling tired by day 6, and after skipping breakfast, we were dreaming of the delicious French cuisine waiting for us back in Villefranche. We also didn't have a concrete plan except for the casino, as we weren't actually sure whether or not we'd make it here and how long it would take, but it does give us an excuse to go back in the future. When we got back to Villefranche, we didn't really have any plan other than to have lunch and stroll around the narrow streets and along the seafront promenade. We actually stopped at Espuma for some lunch as the menu looked delicious. I had St Jack's scallops and Sam had steak and frites. It was quite pricey, but good food and lovely views of the sea and the ship in the distance.
We then had a wander around the town, which was gorgeous, with lots of shops, bars and restaurants. There's some lovely little market stalls too, where we bought some hand soaps, and then we stopped at a bar for a drink near the tender port. The whole town is so colourful and charming. There's also a beach right next to the train station you could head to.
We got the tender back at 2:30 p.m. The last one was at 4 p.m, so we did have 90 more minutes to spend on shore, but we wanted to be back in plenty of time as there were a few things on the ship's itinerary that we wanted to do that afternoon. We sat on the balcony and admired the views and could watch people out on speedboats. I will say a lot of the ports in this itinerary have been very industrial, but this one was actually very beautiful and really nice to admire from the balcony. I then headed to the kitchens for afternoon tea and went to a watercolour session in the arts house, and Sam went to the gym. The art session was really busy, but they squeezed everyone in. It wasn't a lesson or guided, but they supplied the materials and some inspiration pictures, and you could paint whatever you liked. It was really enjoyable, something I'd love to do more at home if I had the time, but when you're at sea with no phone signal, you have nothing but time. It was so relaxing, and it's great to have that balance when you're exploring big ports in the day.
We then went to the coffee port to enter the raffle for the ship map that we'd seen that morning, but didn't win. And then we went to the summer house for sail away. However, it was really busy and we couldn't get a seat, so we went to our balcony and sat on the hammock instead. As it was the penultimate night, we got our disembark information so that we knew what to do tomorrow after Barcelona, although thankfully the holiday doesn't end when we disembark on Saturday, as we're heading to a hotel in Mallorca for a few days as part of our cruise and stay.
We've never been to France before but loved it here. Villefranche was a gorgeous seaside town, and the fact that the train travel was so simple made us think that we could base a holiday here in future, so that we could explore Nice, Cannes and Yves.
We've said this so far in every vlog, but we absolutely want to return to Monaco one day, especially since becoming obsessed with F1. We'd love nothing more than to watch a Grand Prix here one day.